is a time of prayer and preparation for the most glorious of days, Easter Day. Not only is Lent a time of preparation, but also a time for reflection and self-examination. In our Lenten Bible study this year, we are looking at a book called The Resilient Disciple by Justine Allen Chapman. As Christians, it helps us to know that the 12 men that Jesus called to follow him were not perfect. Like us, they had their failings. Resilience is something that we all need to get through life, as not one of us knows what we may be faced with. It moulds us into who we are, who we will become. Resilience in the face of adversity. It is particularly during these testing times that one can experience a strengthening and a deepening in faith, coming closer to God. Jesus' retreat into the wilderness, a place of real hardship, is where he found his strength to resist the devil's temptations and attain a closeness with God, his Father. When we live through our desert experiences, when we have to re-evaluate our situation in life, there is one constant. Even if we forget to acknowledge this one constant in our lives, that constant is still there. He remains with us throughout. In the book, the named resilient disciple is Peter. We also know him as Simon. Peter was the name that Jesus gave to him, the one on which Jesus would build his church. For all his failings, Jesus knew that he could trust Peter to remain steadfast throughout adversity. I think we can all identify with Peter. He is sometimes impulsive, sometimes afraid. He sometimes lacks faith, and sometimes just gets things wrong. He misunderstands, but he is resilient. He bounces back. There are several stories of Peter, but the one that probably stands out to many of us is his denial of Jesus. It is the cockerel crowing that is significant in Peter's realization of what he has just done. It is at this point that he remembers what Jesus said to him. Before the cockerel crows, you will deny me 3 times. He has just done something that he could never have imagined doing. Sometimes when we do unexpected things that we consider to be out of character, or just things we are ashamed of, it is quite often because of these things that we are strengthened. From our weaknesses grows strength. If we think back to Jesus in the wilderness, the devil's temptations come at the end of the 40-day fast, when Jesus is hungry, when we might think him at his weakest. But that is not how it is. We all have dark moments in our lives, and Peter's denial of Jesus represents that darkness. But the crowing of the cockerel reminds us of the coming dawn, the new light of day. Jesus is that light, the light we seek. Jesus is the resurrection and the life. So as we reflect on those times in our lives when we have felt that all is against us, and we remember how through adversity we have gained in strength and resilience, let us also remember the one constant in our lives, the light of the world, Jesus Christ. So let us move through this period of Lent with reflection and self-examination towards Easter Day, knowing that Jesus Christ is the one true light, and also pray that we too can be resilient disciples.